When you've obviously had a lot of support from your teammates, but some ex-teammates, Jamie Moyer, has come out with some pretty strong statements about your credibility and whatnot. Do you feel like you have a lot to repair in that sense? And what did you make of those particular comments from Jamie Moyer?
You want to read Jamie's comments? Because I'm not aware of what exactly he said.
Okay, well, he talked about why would we believe what he has to say, and his credibility has been seriously damaged, and why would anybody vote for the Hall of Fame for a player who's admitted using steroids? That kind of thing.
I mean, I'm sorry Jamie feels that way. And he's definitely entitled to his opinion. And in the baseball world and all the fans we have, I understand their doubt. I understand their concerns. And, you know, there's certain things I can't control, and there's certain things I could control. So I'm going to focus on what I can do and move forward.
Back right, George.
George King, New York Post. Alex, what's your cousin's name and who transported the substance from the Dominican to the United States?
What was the second part, George?
Who transported the substance from the Dominican to the United States?
Same person. I'd rather not get into who my cousin is. I mean, I'm here to, you know, stand front and center and take the blame because I'm responsible for this. He basically took an instruction from me and felt he was doing something that was going to be helpful, not hurtful. So, George, I really don't think that's relevant at this point, his name.
And right here in the front.
John Thomas with ABC here in Tampa. You touched on the fact that some people may refer to this as cheating. How do you address parents now who have to talk to their kids about the fact that you profited from this?
Well, I think first thing I say to parents is I'm sorry. And I feel that this happened for a much bigger reason than baseball. I think God's put me now in a position put me in a forum where I can be heard and my voice can be heard. And I hope that kids would not make the same mistake that I made. And I hope to join Don Hooten, who's done some incredible things, who's sitting right over here. He had a son. His son passed away because of steroid abuse. And I know there's not a time or the forum to be talking about what I intend or plan to do, but I do plan to, and I've had several conversations with Don, to join forces with him in Major League Baseball to basically anti-steroid message to kids all over the country.
John, to the left, Alex.
Alex, John Harper of the Daily News. Just to be clear, did you know the stuff you were getting from the Dominican was steroids? And if so, did you I know you said you were young. Did you consider the consequences at the time?
You know, I didn't think they were steroids. I mean, that's again part of being young and stupid. It was over the counter. It was pretty basic, and you know, it was really amateur hour. I mean, it was two guys. We couldn't go outside. We couldn't ask anyone. We didn't want to ask anyone. We went outside, team doctors, team trainers. It was two guys doing a very amateur and immature thing, and we probably didn't even take it right. Like I said in my statement, we used to do it about 2 times a month. I don't even know if that's proper. So when this gentleman asked me about how it affected us, I'm not sure if we even did it right to affect us in the right way. So all these years, I never thought I did anything that was wrong. Perhaps, but not wrong. And come to find out, Boley triggered a positive test in 2003.
Steve, same direction, Alex.
Alex, Steve Politi from the Star-Ledger, New Jersey. As someone who monitors everything they put in their body, how could you have not done more research or been more conscientious about what you were taking?
I wish I knew. I was 24. I was 25. I was pretty naive and pretty young, and initially I was curious because he mentioned it a few times, and I just gave it a try.
Mark.
Mark Feinsand, Daily News. Alex, the home run record is something that's obviously going to come up in future years here, and obviously it was something important to you and the Yankees so much that there are $30 million of incentives in your contract that as you approach it. Do you feel like your home run record would be tainted, any of your home runs are tainted, and that you should get that money if you get to that point?
Well, I mean, look, I'm trying to get by the day today. It's been a very difficult several weeks, and it's been very painful for me and my family, and I'm here to take my medicine. As far as anything that has to do with today or the past, it's really hard to get myself in that mind frame. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of debates, and there'll be a lot of questions about everything that I did in that period.
Front to your right, Alex, Mel, Ed.
Alex Mel Antonin, USA Today. Do you feel like you're going to have to talk to your teammates and rebuild your credibility with your teammates, given that you had denied using steroids, or performance-enhancing drugs with, in other interviews?
Well, not only with my teammates. I mean, look, at the end of the day, these 25 guys were a family, and I really hope that through this crisis that we are going to become so closer than ever, and I think that that's going to happen. But I owe an apology not only to my teammates, the whole organization, but every fan all over the world that's a fan of baseball. I mean, yeah, all of the above.
Hannah.
Alex, Hannah Storm, ESPN. Did you ever experiment with anything else during the course of your career, such as human growth hormone or amphetamines?
No, on the human growth hormone. What I used to take a lot especially in the Seattle days, was something called Rip Fuel. Since has been banned from Major League Baseball, I believe, and also has been removed from the shelves at GNC. I used to dabble with that some.
Alex, Scott Clark, WABC TV.
The back right, Alex.
You were caught up with emotion earlier when you wanted to address your teammates. As you gathered yourself a bit, can you tell us what you had to say to your teammates?
Thank you for that opportunity. For the guys, I thank you for being here. Like I said earlier, this has been a very difficult 2 weeks and a difficult day to try to get through. And without you guys being here, it would have been impossible. So I thank you, I love you, and I look forward to putting this day behind us and have an amazing season, because it will be the best season of our lives.
Mike.
Mike Picaro, New York Post. Alex, you mentioned earlier you didn't think at the time that what you and your cousin were doing was wrong. But if you didn't think it was wrong, why were you so secretive and so reluctant to ask for assistance with what you were doing?
That's a good question. I knew we weren't taking Tic Tacs. I knew that it potentially could be something that perhaps was wrong, but I really didn't get into the investigation, perhaps like I would have. I mean, I wouldn't imagine thinking of doing something like that today, obviously. It's a different world, it's a different culture. But again, when you're 24 and you're 25 and you're curious and you're ignorant, there's a lot of things you really don't tell a lot of people, not just that. I mean, you don't want to share everything you do with the public or whatnot, and that was just one of those things that I really decided not to share with anyone.
Alex, we're going to go all the way to the back left. Gordon, if you stand up.
Alex, Gordon Eads from Yahoo. Roy Oswalt, a fellow player and a fellow union member, said that last week in an interview that A-Rod's numbers shouldn't count for anything. I feel like he cheated me out of the game. I wonder if you think his position has any validity, and is his apparent anger warranted?
Well, again, I'm sorry Roy feels that way. Look, everyone has their opinions and their beliefs, and I'm sorry he feels that way.